welcome to the Laka Hamantash Debate 2011. We have a great line of speakers tonight, but first I'd like to introduce myself and the organizing committee. My name is Brian Ross, and this is Sophie Lee, our Laka. Yael Shai for also helping out in the organizing committee. And Eliach Moel. He helped a lot with the organization of this debate. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our moderator for this debate. She's an alumna of the chemistry department and executive director of our Hillel, Rabbi Michelle Fisher.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi. Let's try it again. Good evening.
Good evening.
Of all the things that I do in my role as rabbi and executive director of MIT Hillel, tonight's topic is by far the most crucial to our people and to all humanity, especially at this time of world strife and the questioning and the meaning of our very existence. We're gathered here tonight to continue the long line of human questing, and in fact to ensure our very survival as a thinking, tasting, and laughing community. The decisions that we reach this evening will determine nothing. Nothing except for the dominance of one culinary creation over another. The latke. All people were created. And the latke and the hamantashen were created equally. Yes, in the Garden of Eden, latkes and hamantashen grew side by side in harmony. In the middle of the garden, on the tree of circles and triangles. In fact, there's a little-known flat fact that it was latkes and hamantashen that Adam and Eve wore to cover their nakedness. It was the equality of the cuisine and equality of the sexes, which is not represented among the panels. I guess that just proves that one woman is equal to at least 6 men. Later, through our wanderings in the wilderness, for 40 years our ancestors ate manna. Our tradition says that manna tasted like the most wonderful flavor imaginable, which is where the latke hamantashen debate really began. Half of the 600,000 Israelite souls spoke of fine potato gratings and deeply saturated oil. The other half of those 600,000 souls described cakey dough and fruity sweetness. And you wonder why the Bible describes them arguing and complaining for years. Here we go. By the rabbinic period, this grumbling argument, and even was codified into Jewish law. As Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, a strong hamantashen supporter, ruled in the middle of the 1st century, he named Kemach a Torah. If there is no flour, there is no Torah. In response, those in favor of latkes insisted that the recipe for latke making must include a kazait, an olive-sized measure of flour. Except during Passover, when mozzarella is allowed. Despite centuries of civil war in the house of study, the final recorded argument in the Talmud was teku, literally, let it stand, which being flat, neither latkes nor hamantashen do very well. Perhaps this is why there was a brief interlude during the time of the silk trade when Chinese food clearly won out is the gastronomic preference. It's unclear exactly when the Laka versus Hamantashen debate was again raised. Most scholars place it sometime around the time Forrest Gump, or maybe it was Nixon, traveled to China. And hence, we are here tonight. This debate is always held between the holidays of Hanukkah, a holiday of our latkes, and Purim, the time of our Hamantashen. Purim, the festival that celebrates the Jews' defeat of the evil Haman, is compared by our Jewish tradition to the solemnest day on the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippurim, or as our Yurok sages suggest, not Yom Kippurim, Yom Kippurim, a day like Purim. Clearly, this is meant to give precedence and holiness to this evening's triangular delight. However, not to be outshined and out-holied, Hanukkah celebrates the rededication of the temple in Jerusalem, the holiest site in Judaism, giving certain deep weight to the Laka. At a time when insecurity, anger, and war are all too widespread in our world, and peace is so needed, it's our responsibility this evening to resolve this debate once and for all. As any good match begins, we'll start our evening with a coin toss. Or to make matters even and fair, a matzah toss, as Passover is unrelated to both contestants. So this side will be heads, and this side will be tails. What you want to call it? Quickly? Heads. We've got to try something else. Barring that, we'll use the 21st century backup. There's an app for that. Representative, please, for each team. Come on up. Heads or tails?
Heads. Throw the phone.
It is tails. Would you like to go first, or would you like them to go first? Okay. Begin with our Hamantashen team. The format is that now the Hamantashen will have their first debater, and then sides will alternate presenters, each being given 7 minutes for their argument on the merit of their respective food. After all 6 presentations, each team will select one of its members to deliver concluding remarks of about 90 seconds.